Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says he's ready to compromise with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Zelenskyy announced he is willing to pause his NATO ambitions and discuss disputed territories if Russia stops its assault on Ukraine. He told local media he was ready to meet with Putin in any capacity to end the war, but added a deal needs to go through a referendum. Russian troops continue their brutal attacks across Ukraine. Cameras captured the moment Russian troops fired into a crowd of demonstrators in Kherson in southern Ukraine. Russian troops control that city, but there have been frequent protests from the people who live there.
President Zelenskyy says the city of Mariupol is being reduced to ashes by Russian airstrikes. Residents have also been cut off from basic necessities like food, water, and electricity. Meanwhile, there are growing concerns about the war and fire season near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. 7 wildfires were sparked, raising concerns radiation in smoke could spread. The fires have reportedly been extinguished. Ukraine's natural resources minister reported radiation levels near the plant are at normal levels.
CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab joins us now with more from Lviv, Ukraine. Imtiaz, thank you so much for joining us and for all the great reporting you're doing from that area of the world. Of course, we hope you're staying safe. Now, you spoke with a family that escaped Mariupol. What did they tell you?
Tanya, Nikki, good to talk to you. Yeah, I mean, we met this extraordinary family, Roman, Svetlana, and their children, but their story is horrific and sadly shared by far too many Ukrainians. They've told us that they were basically stuck under siege in the city of Mariupol, where they've called home and where they had a wonderful life. They really were just your typical middle-class family. And all of that has been smashed into pieces because of Russia's bombardment. They say that they were trapped for weeks, living in a basement, trying to navigate Russian airstrikes, running out of food, and yet they were able to flee. In fact, they were able to flee here to the relative safety of Lviv, where so many Ukrainians have now come. In fact, the last count, 3.5 million Ukrainians are now refugees abroad. Many have passed through here into the safety of Poland. But when it comes back to Roman and Svetlana and their family, we sat down and we had an interview, and Svetlana told me that it really was like hell on earth in Mariupol. Here's what she said.
Hell is when you don't know if you'll be able to take your next breath, if you'll have anything to feed your children with because they're hungry, she says. Hell is when you know that if your child gets sick, he will die. That is hell. That is hell here in the 21st century.
Now, Svetlana, as you could see in that clip, has a terrible head wound. She had a black eye. They were basically in a car accident as they were fleeing Russian bombing. She had to swerve out of the way and sort of smashed into a pole, causing that terrible injury. And when we met them, they were basically covered in blood, still caked in blood, as they arrived into this church here in Lviv, which was basically giving them safety and sanctuary. But I want to make it very clear and point out something very important about Svetlana and her family. These were not broken people. These are not people who have been destroyed by what they experienced. They were strong and they were defiant. And I asked her, Svetlana, how are you so strong? And she said, it's in my blood. I am Ukrainian. It is in my blood. Nikki, Tanya.
It's just impossible to comprehend what they're going through, and so many Ukrainian families, and chilling really to hear
the strength of those families.
It's incredible. Imtiaz, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is once again calling for talks with his Russian counterpart to end the war. Where do peace negotiations stand? Have we seen any headway?
There was a lot of hope, Nikki, when just even a week ago, President Zelenskyy had said that progress had been made. We even heard from the Russians saying that things were moving in a very good direction, and then it all just kind of dropped off. And then around 24 hours ago, we had President Zelenskyy saying, Mr. Putin, it is now the time that we meet face to face, saying that he will meet under any circumstances with the Russian president. But the Kremlin saying, no chance, not going to happen. They're saying more progress needs to be made in these sort of back-channel diplomacy that's been going on, and that is going on, and that's a very important thing to be going on. But that crucial meeting between President Zelenskyy and President Putin isn't going to happen because the Kremlin is saying not enough progress has been made on that front. And that really is a concern. At the end of the day, this is Vladimir Putin's war, right? This is his invasion. He made the decision, he sent in his troops, and his generals are ordering the sort of devastation that we're seeing in Mariupol, in Kharkiv, in and around Kyiv as well. And so unless these two leaders can come together, and unless Vladimir Putin can be convinced, and really it is that word, he has to be convinced to end this horrific war, which we have to point out that Russia has suffered enormously as well. Nothing compared to what Ukrainians have, but we understand that thousands of Russian soldiers have been killed, that they're running out of supplies, they're running out of food, and more crucially, running out of morale. But in order to stop this war, these two leaders need to come up with some agreement, and sadly at this stage, that seems quite far away. Nikki, Tanya.
Yes. Imtiaz, incredible what you're witnessing there. Thank you so much for your reporting.